And we're off. Welcome everybody to the PAVEDOT Positive Podcast. I'm Marqus Davis, your host. I am here with
Coach Bowen.
And this Positive Podcast is focused on coaches and leadership. A coach can be a mentor, a teacher, a trainer, an educator, a tutor, a drill instructor. Coach, I want to ask you a question. What is a coach to you, and why are you a coach?
For one, man, I started coaching, and a coach to me in my life was somebody that kind of took the place of my dad. He went to jail when I was 5 years old, and I had guys in the neighborhood to teach me the game and instill in me things to help me survive in life. So I was always playing sports, and the guys that I played for were guys I looked up to, and I wanted to please them because my dad wasn't around. So coaching to me was like, a coach was like a dad figure to me. But my mom helped raise me. They helped me and my mom keep me level. You know, I would do things wrong. My mom would go get them guys. It was like, hey.
Yeah, that enforcer.
Because I wanted to play for them. So
that's
hey,
right.
You do this wrong, you ain't playing today. So those type things kept me
exactly.
level. Yeah.
That discipline, that give and take is very important in the upbringing of youth.
Yes.
And it's big that you say that, because it also ties into the first question of who is your favorite coach and your role model?
My favorite coach is Chuck Daly. He's the original Pistons coach. I grew up watching the Pistons, and I was always a fan of them. Isaiah Thomas was my favorite basketball player, so I grew up in the bad boy era. So you know, that's during the time when Pistons went back to back, and we've been on losing streak since then. But
Chuck. But let's focus on Chuck Daly. What kind of coach was he? Because he's not coaching anymore. What part of his coaching philosophy would you say you have with you now?
Well, he was a players coach. Like, he didn't coach all the players the same. Like, for example, he had Dennis Rodman on his team, and Dennis Rodman was a wild card, but Dennis Rodman played for him. Yeah. Because he understood Dennis Rodman. He didn't try to coach Dennis Rodman the same way he tried to coach Isaiah, but those two different players.
That's a good.
So I learned from him that, hey, you can't coach all the players. I might can ride this player, but this player, I got to give him a little tough love. Yeah.
That is a very good, important point when you have a team and it's a team goal, and you being that leader as a coach to know you got to talk to everybody differently, but we're still coming to the same goal.
That's right.
And so when forming goals, and I know we asked you all what were your goals at the beginning of the year. Do you remember?
Well, I think I'm not quite sure what my goal would be is always to see kids that started out. You know, you're going to have your better players. But I want to see the kids that wasn't the better players become better players.
True.
So at the end of the season, I want to feel confident passing the ball to the kid that never gets it and know that he'll put that shot up. Whether he make it or not, he's aggressive enough to attempt that now. So his confidence is building. Instead of just staying back and watching the other players always dominate the ball. Yeah. So my goal is to always see the team go to, hey, I got one player, two players, now I got 7 players. When I might have had, you know, if I shut them out, I might only have 2 or 3, and they're going to just sit on the sideline. They're never going to get the confidence to want to step up and take the big shot.
So you want individual improvement.
Individual improvement.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Understand that because...
Well, because kids already coming here with the and win stuff, and they know everything. I try to draft players that are coachable. I try to get players that want to get better. Because even as a coach, I can get better. I don't know anything about everything. So, hey, I go to Nike clinics and things like that to try to sharpen my skill to be able to help these kids more, you know. So if I expect them to come in and know everything, then there's no need for me to coach. So I'm always constantly teaching them something.
Right there what you said. If you what was it? You expect them to know everything?
Yeah, I can't expect them to know everything at 10, 12. I got to be able to give them something.
Then you wouldn't have to be here.
Right.
And that's another thing that some coaches get confused. Like, if you just can't roll the ball out and have Michael Jordans and Shaq on the same team, you have to develop these players.
You do.
And that's the challenging part about coaching. That's the stuff that keep you up at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And makes it fun for you and the kids.
Yes.
And you got to take the time out to see every player is different and still keep working towards your goal.
That's right.
If you wouldn't mind describing how you feel about adversity, because being a coach, you have the plan, you have the goals, we want to win a championship, we want to see every player improve. But let's say that doesn't happen.
Right.
What is the plan?
Well, adversity is like everybody love a winner. You know what I mean? And when you're winning, it masks a lot. Parents love you when you're winning. When you start losing a few games, boy, you worst coach in the gym. So I've learned to have the kids stick together through winning and losing. Like my team this year, for example, we started out 0-4, but we own like a 4 or 5 game. We might have lost one game out of the last 5 or 6 games. And the reason why that is because I've been, hey, we're gonna lose together, we're gonna win together. So we go through that adversity. So now that they see on the other side, they believe in themselves and they believe in me as a coach. If I can get them to buy in, then I can get them to do more than they can ever dream of. But first, I got to get them to buy in. And unfortunately, a lot of times losing, it's not as easy to get kids to buy into that because everybody accept winning with learning. Like they winning, they feel like, hey, it's a good thing. But if they start losing, their heads are down. So you got to be that kind of coach to pick them up, even in the losses. You got to find something good, something positive out of the losses, just like you do the wins.
There it is. There's the word I was looking for, positive. I believe in positive affirmations, and that's why this is a positive podcast. Right. It's when you take adversity and you got to spin it, because adversity is always going to happen, whether it is. This game is teaching kids about life. When you're not perfect, that mean don't wake up in the morning, you know what I'm saying? That mean don't try? No, it doesn't. You got to find that inner, XYZ joy for playing the game. What do you think is the best advice to give to that young kid who wants to be Kyrie? But
you just gotta those guys put in a lot of work, man. Mm-hmm. And I think some kids, they lose track of the fact that, hey, we see them on TV, but you don't see them outside of TV. Them guys, they all pros for a reason.
And it's a process.
And it's a process. And somebody along the way helped them. Yeah. You got coaches that, hey, you'll see a guy in college and he's okay. Mm-hmm. He gets to the pro level. You're like, man, he didn't play like that in college, but they get coached up. They playing against better kids, better teammates in practice. They got to go get it if they want to stay in that league. Every year, there's more people coming in. So those guys that have ambitions of playing at that type level, I just tell them, like, man, you can't take nothing for granted. And when you're not practicing, somebody is.
That's right.
You got to get up and, hey, 2 a days, 3 a days, those guys put in a lot of work.
And then tying into practice. Exactly. The process part. The first day of practice cannot look like the last day of practice.
I agree.
And as a coach, and you have to get that message displayed to all your kids, like, all right, we had a bad day today. But even as a coach, as the model of the team, the role model of the team, the coach got to have that identity and that mindset put into all his players, like, we got tomorrow, we got another day. So don't get all hyped up in this moment, don't get too low in the moment. You like to try to keep an even keel for everything, because that's a life lesson. You're gonna have good days, you're gonna have a lot of money in your pocket. Some days it's gonna be a little lower, and you gotta think.
Roller coaster.
Yes, sir. Well, also I have what are your philosophies in practice as far as format? So whenever the players come in, what are some of the things that you always preach at practice?
Always practice layups. Because, the closer you are to the basket, the more higher percentage shot you're going to get. Unfortunately, these kids want to shoot 3-pointers, so I try to keep them off that 3-point line. I also try to let them touch the ball as much as possible. Three-man weave drills, things like that, just to get a confidence to the kids.
Yeah.
And I really stress on doing drills that you would do on next level going up. Because it might seem like a 3-man weave is a lot to them at that age, but when you go try out for a travel team, they want to do the 3-man weave. You're going to need to know how to do that. They ain't always going to say, hey, we'll stop everything. Let's show you how to do that. So if we can work through the kinks in these type rec leagues, it's only going to help them when they try for their middle school team that they already know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, and even with drills, I don't really think it's an age or a level thing. It's a communicating it out to them. I'm one of those coaches that believe in looking at the player, seeing where they're messing up. So I got to be able to explain, like, if you're doing a 3-man weave, since you use that for example, and the kids are struggling with it, you got to know if this kid going to hit this line, especially dealing with recreation, right? And if not, it's certain things you need to be looking for in it. And my coach, when we used to do 3-man weave, he always snap passes. So I'm looking for the snap pass. Right. I'm looking for how fast are you trying to get behind the player. So it's just really about communicating exactly what you want as a coach. And some coaches, and I'm not saying you do it, but they'll look at it and say, oh, man, they can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Give up on it.
And they give up on it, not respecting the process, not respecting that they're going to get better. And what are you saying? And the same thing happened in the games.
But you're not only teaching them catching the ball, seeing the ball into their hand, they're learning spacing. They're learning to fill the lanes. They're learning, hey, get out on the break. You teaching them fast break, they don't even realize it. Yeah. So that's one of the main drills I teach, because, hey, you pass the ball, you're moving. You ain't passing the ball and standing still. You passing the ball, you don't even realize it, but you passing and you moving.
That's right.
And it keeps them active and it keeps them engaged in the game.
Yeah, for sure. So we're in agreement now. I just want to throw that little piece in there, man, about the practices. And I know we went over adversity, and I got a quote in here. This is about a mindset. When you find yourself in a room surrounded by your enemies, you should tell yourself, I'm not locked in here with you. You are locked in here with me. This is the kind of mindset you should have if you want to be successful in life. Get rid of the victim mentality. Bruce Lee. See, and then you go back to the coaches. He's a sensei. I saw this quote, and I felt like this is a famous coaching quote from a great sensei, master, Bruce Lee. How do you feel about kids losing the game before they step on the court?
Well, I've had a conversation with you before. I think it's the people on the outside. They kind of anoint kids like, oh, he's good. He's the next. And kids buy into that. They listen to the people on the sideline. They feel defeated when they come in. Oh, he good. I can't guard him. And I try to tell them like, dude, he lace up just like you lace up, one shoe at a time. And if you go out there and you feel like this kid can't be stopped at 12, at 10, I mean, you defeating yourself. Hey, go out there and give 110%, and you'll never know what's going to happen. And sometimes those kids take on that responsibility and say, hey, I want to guard that kid since he think he's that good. And that helps them mentally prepare for the game.
Do you feel like kids can develop this mindset, or do you feel like you're born? And then culture talk, they'll say that dog. This is a dog mentality right here of like Michael Jordan. I got that.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not always developed. It's got to be something in you that you can't put inside the kid. Like over years, you can develop it playing with certain coaches or playing with other kids. You can take on their demeanor, or like for example, if I got a kid that's scrappy and he's on the ground for every loose ball, it's contagious. Other kids see it, they like, well, I need to get on the ground for a loose ball.
And that's right. And
that builds heart. That builds passion for the game.
It's an energy. It's a vibe. It's with the PAVEDOT, we got the V in there. It's a vibe. You can set the tone of the culture and
how hard you play.
Are your leaders.
That's right.
Your leaders, and that's why this leadership podcast is about coaches developing it first and saying that you can put this man. I believe you can put this culture on your team. Even if you got a kid that's shy, he will use his teammate for a shield. You know what I mean? And everybody had a role. You know, if someone's going to be ready to go out there and but you got to know it can't be passed on.
But it's got to be channeled though.
Yeah, it has to be channeled.
It's got to be channeled, because if you get one that it can be out of control and it can turn into where he's fouling people maliciously or in a way that's not positive. So you have to control the aggression.
Oh yeah, I was speaking strictly on a mindset of winning the game before the game starts. The dog mentality. Just going out there and I'm going to be a winner.
I just feel like you got it or you don't. Every kid ain't built with it, but some kids can rise to the occasion at times. Some kids, they come in with the dog every day. I mean, they just got it. Yeah.
That's true. That is true, Coach. It is. What do you categorize your best coaching moment here at the MLK? Or you also tell us a little bit about your coaching history. Where all do you coach?
Well, I started out at. I was at a gay boys club. I coached at a community boys club. Halo. Currently MLK. Northside Baptist Church. And a couple other leagues. I also coach with Port City Select, which is a travel team. I coach a 13U team over there. And we just went AAU, so I'm really excited about that this year. But I just been giving back to the community, man, and trying to do and be that role model, father figure for kids that grew up like me or that didn't grow up like me. Just any kid that's willing to listen to me and let me be a part of their development when it comes to the game of basketball. So that's why I always give back and do it.
All right, and then your best coaching moment, the one that keeps you here. Like, coaches going to have ups and downs as well. It's a mental roller coaster for them as well. But what's that one moment that you can think of that when a kid had that moment, that light switch clicked on?
Well, whenever I was coaching here for the first year, and it was new to me because I played here. like seriously played here. And you know, when you good in a gym like this, your name speaks for itself.
When you say gym like this, you got to explain it for our listeners. First time
gym
listening.
Like MLK to me. MLK to me is if you can play in the MLK, you can play anywhere. Because this the atmosphere that you can't have everywhere. I mean, you can go to other leagues and other tournaments, but they playing like playoff games every game. That's the feel of it.
Yeah, that raw passion. I understand.
And the game score may be 14 to 15, but you feel like it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
And for my son to come in here with the mindset like, well, my dad was good in here, and people was like, oh, that's your son, you know. And for him to finally get in here and win a championship, for me, not doing daddy ball thing, but that was huge for me. Just to see him go down the path. Because when he came here, man, he was soft. And just being honest, I just didn't think he would. I threw him to the wolves to see how he would do.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a work in progress, man.
So, but going back to the question, he developed that mentality.
But I think it was a lot about putting them under the fire.
Yeah. But either way, whatever tactic you use to develop it, I'm saying that thinking positively, you can develop. So it ain't going to be on the same level of, everybody's not going to be on the same level of, let's say, Hercules. Right. You know what I mean? He not be the, you're not going, you are who you are.
You are who you are.
But you can get courage. Everybody can be courageous enough to start a podcast or start a business. It starts with sports. You got to shoot your shot.
But the biggest thing about, like, for MLK for me is that, like you say, the passion of what goes on in here, and the kids, it's new to them. Because they go to all these gyms and everybody's cheering for them.
Yeah.
And when they come here, it's not that they're not cheering for them, but they're cheering for their team. And it's almost like, you know, it's like they're cheering for their team. Yeah. It's clearly, you know, who going for who in here.
Yeah, for sure.
And for the first time my son got booed or, you know, whatever the case was, he, you know, it was like, what did I do? You know, it was new for him. And adversity that he overcame to be able to come in here and lace up and, you know, play through all that. I know it mentally gets in your head, and he did a great job, and it was big for me to be a part of that and win that championship, and you know, with my kids.
Well, yeah, Coach, congratulations on that. We're coming up on our time, man. One thing I want to make sure that I stress with this positive leadership podcast that we're doing right here, man, is positive affirmations. They are real. It's a mindset. And we appreciate you as a coach. You know, keep on keeping on. All right, man. I appreciate you.